This is Mike from Dirtydog 4x4. We're here to show you how to install the Dirtydog sunscreen on the 4-door Bronco. It's a one-piece sunscreen, goes front to back. What you'll need for the installation is we provide everything you need, the parts you need. You're going to need your installation tool pack you've got that came with your Bronco, and we'll go through the installation. And this is for the installation on a soft top and a hard top version. This may or may not fit with the aftermarket soft tops. There are some brackets that don't line up. You'll have to test that for yourself. But right now, this is for the factory soft top or the factory hard top. We're showing the install on a factory soft top. We'll show you the differences with a hard top and a soft top as we're going through the installation. All right, so let's follow along, get started. So the first step you're going to want to install is you're going to sit down in the back seat and you're going to mount the zipper piece here. The piece that zippers up and it wraps around your roll bar. The rear roll bar wraps around and zips in place. If you have items mounted to your roll bar, some guys have lights, accessories, you can take those lights off, you can mount them in after. You can put holes in this material. It is a ripstop material, so it will fray ever so slightly, but for the most part, because of the waterproof line in the back, it keeps it from shredding apart on you, so you can actually mount stuff with using the mounting holes in the back. And so let's start with the installation in the back here. So just hop in your back seat, and what you're going to get is you've got the top side is where the buckles are here. You'll see the fabric here. It's kind of got a shiny side. That's what goes around the roll bar. And the flatter side goes on the outside. So we're just going to wrap that around. So there it sits there. It just sits around, just sitting draped across. There's a little excess zipper. You just tuck it in. When you're done, it'll push in the way, and that'll self-center it once you get all the straps in. So now that we've got that part done, now we've got to get up on the top here. We've got to mount some of our clips up the top here. So we'll set the camera up and we'll show you how that's done. Okay, so now we're here in the top section. These are, we're going to install the brackets that came with your kit. You're going to need, you've got a full set of brackets. You've got 3 different styles of brackets. You've got an L-shaped bracket. You've got 2 that look very similar from the top side, but on the underside there's some undercuts on them, so and an elongated hole. So that's your 3 different styles of brackets. There's also a couple of bolts in there for areas that aren't provided with, that you're not using the existing factory bolts in the system. So we're going to start first is up at the front here. So you've got your 2 bolts here that tie down where your roof clamps onto. So you're just going to remove 1 bolt at a time because you don't want to move the adjustment on this bracket because adjustment isn't huge on it, but you got to make sure it's lined up so when you put your tops back on, it does line up. So take your innermost one off first, and you're going to use torque. You got 2 torque heads in your kit, and you got the ratchet. You're going to use those to pull these off. So I'm just going to loosen it off and pull that bolt out. Now the bracket that has the elongated hole with the little sort of bevels on the back, that's when you're going to put on there. So you're going to put the bracket on like this. So it sits like this, it sits on top, bracket in, tighten up a hand. And the reason it has a elongated hole, because we use the same bracket on both sides, you want to push that bracket all the way towards the front of the vehicle so it doesn't hit the clip on the bracket that's on the vehicle. So we'll just tighten that one up, use our wrench, tighten it up, okay, make sure that's straight. We'll take the next one off, closest to the outside. Loosen that off. And now you're going to take the other flat bracket that has flat all around, doesn't have the elongated hole. And when you put it on, you're going to put it on like this. So, and I'll do a close-up on this so you can see how it's installed. Tighten it back up. So that one's locked in place. And let me just bring in so you can see it here. So if you want to see how the brackets are installed. That one's pointing that direction, that one's pointing front. All right? Okay. The next thing you're going to do is through the trim piece here. We've already pulled the bolt out actually. There's a bolt in here. And you'll need a 5/16 or 8mm socket. We've included a 3D printed socket in there for you. The kit doesn't come with one that's in the vehicle, so we 3D printed one in there for you, a plastic one for you. Should do the job for you, unless you're over torquing it and busting it up, but it'll work for you. So now you need this L-shaped bracket, and it just fancy looks like that. Once you take this bolt out, put the bracket back through. I know some of you guys use this for straps. Put your strap on, put the bracket on first, then put your strap on first. Use it for everything. Make sure the bracket sits tight against the vehicle. You'll have a tendency to break the bracket if you have something that's not sitting flat on the vehicle. So make sure you put it flat on the vehicle. So use your socket, tighten it up, take your wrench, give it a crank, tighten her up, and that's on there. Okay, the next one back is here. There's a factory bolt on here. We've provided an extra bolt. There is some early versions of trucks that didn't have this bracket here, so you'll find an extra couple bolts in the installation. And that's for this area here. Most you have it. We're still including it because there are some vehicles without it. So you're gonna take another one of these flat brackets, the flat square ones. You're gonna pull that bolt out, put the bracket in, facing the. So tighten that up. And that just faces, you'll see how the position there faces that way. Take your Torx, tighten it back up. Now if you're using one of our factory bolts that we provided, one of the bolts that we provided, where is it here? It actually is a Allen key head, but it does, the smaller Torx fits in there, works perfectly with it, so you can use that as well to tighten up, which you'll need to use in the back for the soft top users. So we're going to move back more. So we've got these two, now we're going to move back to the final bracket. So we made some changes to this sunscreen originally. Like this sunscreen was designed to fit for the soft top only, so we've now converted it to fit the soft top and hard top. So some of you soft top users, if you're watching this video, you might have an old version where you have another one of these angle brackets and they fit right here on the panel. The new versions we have, it won't have the actual one of these brackets, but if you have one that happens to be, it's been sitting on a shelf or somewhere, and you're buying it for your soft top, this goes on here. The reason we've switched this up, because on the hard tops, there's a bracket that sits right here, and this won't fit in there. So what we've done is we've made this bracket will work with both hard top and soft top. If you're a hard top user, you're just going to do the bolt, set this on top of the brackets that are there, and put your bolt back in and tighten it up. Simple as that. And with a soft top user, you're going to take one of the bolts that we provided. You're just going to put it in there, tighten it in. You use that small torque head bit that came with your kit. It came with the truck, and you're going to tighten that up. That's it, make sure it points that way. And that's it, so you've done that on one side, you can do the exact same thing on the other side. And now we're gonna go in and install after I'll get you to install the other sides, we'll go on, the next step is moving to the installation of the screen, which is very easy after this. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, so now that we've got your brackets installed on both sides, we've got them installed all the way around. You've got your screen sitting already installed in the back. So what you wanna do is you wanna do your front corners here first. So you've got strap point at the side, strap point at the front. Take your forward facing strap, put it through the bracket we installed, and give it a snug up. Doesn't have to be super tight. You can go around and adjust these after. Just get it set, average tightness, just to get it set in place. And that's with all your straps. We're gonna do that all the way around. So now the strap that comes to the side, it just goes through, like so. And those of you, just to, people have asked this question before, we sell a headliner. Headliner's using the exact same brackets now, so everything is identical with the headliner and with the screen. So the brackets go on the same way. So if you buy a headliner or a screen, you don't have to worry about changing or replacing the brackets. Probably gonna have a special at Christmas where you get both of them, one set of brackets, save you a few bucks, and you can use both. So we've got these two front ones. So again, don't do it too tight because you just put them on loosely, and then we're gonna go back after and tighten them up. Strap on the side, it's gonna go through. And the ladder locks, you'll see how that you go through the center, go around the bar, a little bar there, then and pull it through, and that's your ladder lock there. And we'll do that here. So now let's go over the other side, do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so now that we've got the straps all the way installed all the way along, we can go through and adjust and pull it equally on both sides so you got an equal amount of pull tension. You can tell if you're not pulled correctly, like you can see here in the back. I gotta line this up, slide that over, and get that fit in properly, adjust that out still, and so that's it. So you want just a nice smooth fit across the top. So the only other thing you want to do now is hide your straps so they're not flapping on you, and it's very simple to do these. Basically, wind them around, find a slot inside there where you can slide them in and tuck them in. And what we do is usually wrap them up inside. So that's what so it finishes nicely. So you're just basically sliding them back under and you're kind of stuffing them in there so they hide up nicely. And they kind of protect the clips too in case anything hits them. And you go around and you can do that to each one of them. And that'll finish it off nicely for you. So the only thing is now, basically all you have to know now for a soft top user, stays on, you put it on, stays on for the summer. You open, close your tops, no problem. The brackets fit through here, open and closes easily. Nothing to take off. This is where the road splits for the hard top users. Unfortunately, we've decided not to make a specialized one for the hard top where you have to get in, where you can reach your hands into all the panels and levers. We attempted to make one for them. It looked like the dog's breakfast. You either had a bunch of zippers, you had a bunch of holes cut out. Became very expensive because there's a lot of work to sew in zippers, and I don't think anyone wants to pay that much money, $500 for a screen, and it really doesn't look that good, to be honest with you. So yeah, the hard part is for the hard top users, you will have to pull this back. You'll have to take off your straps on either side. Now you can leave it. You can leave it sort of wrapped around the roll bar in the back. You want to roll it up and just take some bungees and strap it on. That'll work for you as well too, but it really isn't that. It's pretty quick to turn it to pull it on and off when you pull your roof off. So yes, you will have to put your roof back on. You'll have to pull the screen out to put your roof back on. But that's just that's the joys of owning a Bronco. For many years owning a Jeep, it's been a lot of projects are like that. So but that's it. So other than that, everything else should fit nice for you. You should have some good use out of it. All right, have a great day.